Hello everyone and welcome to Werven's World and welcome to my 5 tips for new players of UnReal World, a survival roguelike set in Iron Age Finland. So this game has been in development for a long time and is really deep. I really love this game. I've actually been playing it a lot in Finland during fieldwork when I only had my crappy laptop with me and it wouldn't really play many games, but this game runs perfectly on it. So I've been playing it a lot and I really like it. But of course it's a very deep roguelike, so there are many mechanics that are not necessarily clear from the beginning, so I thought I would make this video containing 5 tips for new players in order to help you get started. So I hope you enjoy it. Tip number 1, cord is used for quite a lot of things in this game, and in a sense it's completely equivalent to rope except that you can't leash animals with it, and it's fairly easy to make. However, if you haven't been able to trade for it, then what you can do is you can actually take off your undershirt, for example, and then you can make utility articles cord. Then you say I want one. And you can basically just rip it off from your undershirt. You also need a knife for it. Once you've done that, you basically have cord because you've been making cord from your clothes. However, be careful because now some of my undershirt, the wear is basically, it's a bit damaged, of course, because I've been ripping parts of it, but you can make quite some cord like this. Then you can, for example, make things like an axe, which needs stone, slender trunk, rope and knife. So you just have to fell this tree and walk there. And then you can make yourself a nice axe. You just need a rope, which you can make from the cord, and then you can craft it. So basically, if you don't have cord, be sure to just rip off your clothes and use it because you need it for lots of things, and if you haven't been able to trade for it, this is really the best way to get it. Tip number 2, don't forget that this is actually quite a realistic simulation. So if you do things like swimming or climbing, you don't really want to do that when you're wearing a knife, an axe, a rock, a staff, an axe, more clothes, a fishing rod, a cesta, some bread and weasel fat. So basically, before you go climbing, just drop everything or whatever you want. Then you just put it here and then you can climb the tree. It still doesn't necessarily mean that you made it. For example, here I lose my grip at 5 meters and I fall down. And I get my shoulder knocked, unfortunately. But if I was wearing anything else, then the chance of actually making it up to this tree would be even slimmer. And if you go swimming with all that equipment, you will drown within a couple of squares. So make sure to drop your equipment before you do any of these physical demanding tasks. Tip number 3, you can very easily repeat things you've done earlier by just pressing R, which stands for repeat. So for example, I've been fishing, so then I just press R and then I just choose my fishing rod again and I keep fishing. Once you've done this, and you've not done anything else in between, then it will remember the fishing rod in this case. So you can just do R, enter, and then you can do that. You can do the same with, for example, felling trees. Oh, maybe I should first sleep. And there we go. Maybe eat a bit of pike and drink a bit. So then we can, for example, skill, timbercraft, fell a tree. Yes. And now we can go to another tree and press R and immediately it does it. So repeating commands is a very nice way to make the game much faster. Tip number 4, be aware of the difference between hunger and nutrition. While hunger is basically a direct measure of how hungry you are and it will affect your physical performance, nutrition means how quickly you will gain hunger. So if you are malnourished, you will gain hunger much more quickly than normal, and you need more food in order to keep that from happening. So it's better, for example, let's say I want to fell this tree here. You can see that the hunger didn't increase that much because I was nourished. However, let's do it again now that we are at good nutrition instead of nourished nutrition. You will see that it increases much more already, and we can continue doing that. No, there it goes. So it really increases quite quickly. So what you really want to do is to keep nourished. So make sure to eat well and be nourished, because otherwise your hunger will increase a lot more than normal and you will be using way more food than normal as well. Tip number 5, be aware of the zoom function. Ctrl+ and Ctrl- controls the zoom, and this is especially useful if you're hunting. For example, I'm hunting that creature there now, so if I press Ctrl-, I just have more vision in order to actually really see where it is and to follow it. So yeah, zooming can be very, very useful. So these were my 5 tips for new players for Unreal World. You will see that I didn't really go into detail of some other mechanics such as building your shed or where you should go or trading, stuff like that, because I thought I would really keep it a bit basic in order to help new players get their bearings with the game. So I hope you found it useful and see you next time.